Yes, it's April and the results of March crazy shopping are rolling in. These 5 watches were literally delivered a few days ago. There are only 4 boxes here, and that's because one of the watches unfortunately had to go back, but more on that later. This video is not meant to be a full review of these watches. Those in-depth, comprehensive reviews are coming up shortly, so of course don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss anything. Now, in this video I'll do a quick unboxing, cover the dimensions and specifications, share my first impressions, do a loom check and of course do a quick wrist shot. And of course, if you want to check these watches out for yourself, all the links will be in the description of this video. With all of that out of the way, let's get on with these unboxings. In no particular order, let's start with this Seestern first. I had it on my radar for months now and I finally pulled the trigger during this last sale. First impressions are really good. I was after this specific colorway and I must say I'm not disappointed. This is also their latest version of this watch with a wider hour hand, and I've got to say that for the price it looks really solid. At the point of introduction, this Seestern was selling for close to $200 and getting it for around 150 or 120 bucks during this sale feels like a really decent deal. We have a good versatile set of dimensions here. Bezel measures at 40 mm, case height is 13.5 mm, lug-to-lug distance is 47.7 mm, and we of course have here protruding end links and the distance between them is 52.8 mm. Lug width is 20 mm and as supplied this watch weighs 175 grams. We have screw-down crown, unidirectional bezel, 200 meters of water resistance and sapphire crystal. And I'm quite pleasantly surprised by the quality of the bracelet. The product pictures really don't do it justice. Just look at these well-finished chunky links. Really nice, and as promised, here is the wrist shot. And of course the snapshot of the loom. Now, next we have this more or less recent titanium diver release from Boderry. I had it on my wish list in my AliExpress recommendation video and now it is here. First, I must say that I like how Boderry pays attention to detail when it comes to packaging. Not over the top, but really well-designed box. So yes, this watch is made out of titanium, which is an amazing thing at this price point. And talking about the price, this watch usually sells for just under $150 and closer to $125 during the sales. As I mentioned earlier, I'll put the links to the Boderry site and to their official store on AliExpress in the description. We have bezel diameter of 40.5 mm, case height is 12 mm as I measured it, nice and slim, lug-to-lug is 47.7 mm, lug width is 20 mm and the weight is just a smidge over 80 grams, a benefit of having a titanium-made case. As for my first impressions, we have a very versatile case shape and proportions at about 40 mm diameter and under 48 mm lug-to-lug distance. This watch should work for pretty much most wrist sizes. I also like the gear-shaped bezel grip as well as the crown grip, which kind of has similar design. And yes, this is an original design from Boderry, and I think they did a great job here, although this watch does have a remote resemblance to one very famous diver. And we of course have a very unusual honeycomb dial background, which also is loomed. Boderry offers this model in a number of different colorways and not just in titanium but also in bronze. I really like this one, I think it would make a really cool looking summer holiday watch. And of course, the same as with the Seestern, we have Seiko NH35 powering this Boderry. This is another watch that I've been wanting to buy for quite some time and finally pulled the trigger during this last big sale. This watch is from Specht and Sony brand, and there should have been 2 different timepieces in this video from them. However, I had to send one back due to a quality control issue on the dial. Luckily, I bought my second Specht and Sony watch, this particular one, from a different store. It was well packaged and looked like seller did check for any obvious quality control issues before shipping this watch. So I will link them in the description. For the record, I don't have any affiliation with that shop, and you are of course welcome to buy your watches where you like. However, do check customer feedback and overall rating of the shop before purchasing. That's something I probably should have done in my case, but usually I try to go at least for 90% rating. Okay, so let's look at this really special timepiece. The square shape of this unique and iconic design is very different to most round dial watches in my collection, and it is quite interesting that there are hardly any other homages to Monaco Tag Heuer on AliExpress. And I think it is quite impressive that Specht & Sony offers this model in so many different colorways and dial layout combinations. And as far as looks and proportions go, well, yes, we are getting here pretty close to the iconic source of the inspiration for this watch. Also, the choice of Seiko Mecha Quartz movement to power this Specht & Sony is very much welcome. So we get the chronograph features which fully correspond to the dial layout, where the center second hand counts the chronograph seconds and the sub-dial at 9 o'clock is 60-minute chronograph accumulator. We also have running seconds sub-dial at 6 o'clock position, which also quite nicely set next to the date window, and we have a 24-hour indicator sub-dial at 3 o'clock. In regards to dimensions, this watch has case width of 39.5mm, case height of 15mm, lug-to-lug distance of 47.5mm and lug width of 22mm, and it weighs around 120 grams. Now, you probably noticed that while the case has more or less manageable width of 39.5mm and lug-to-lug distance of 47.5mm, it is actually quite girthy at 15mm case height. However, as I mentioned earlier, it is very similar measurement to the actual Tag Heuer watch. So if you think that this $73 chronograph is a bit much to handle, then the $7,000 Tag Heuer will unlikely to work for you either. In regards to build quality and attention to detail, this Specht & Sony watch is actually pretty good. We have decent finishing on the stainless steel construction case. The racing style perforated leather strap with orange accents is padded towards the case and feels soft and pliable. Maybe a touch too soft, but it still should work alright, and of course we can always replace it. And we have a crocodile style clasp. So all in all, as far as first impressions go, a very good, well put together watch. One thing to mention though, we do get mineral glass here. It looks good, kind of okay, and makes sense for the price, although a sapphire crystal would definitely be a better option. This one is an absolutely gorgeous new original design timepiece from San Maran. I've been wearing it non-stop since I received it a few days ago, which isn't a great idea because I really wouldn't want to put any more scratches on it, well, at least before I finish filming. Like I just mentioned, this watch is really good looking, well, in my opinion anyway, and with very good proportions. I would probably best describe it as a premium skin diver with GMT complication, a truly perfect summer holiday watch, and not just for holiday, of course. So we get a bezel diameter of 40.7mm, case height of 30mm, lug-to-lug distance of 48.5mm and lug width of 20mm, and the weight of about 97 grams on the tropical strap and around 135 grams on the Milanese stainless steel bracelet. We also get here double dome sapphire crystal, ceramic insert unidirectional bezel and, not surprisingly, a Seiko NH34 GMT caliber powering this timepiece. It comes on a Milanese strap, which, at least from my initial impressions, is really good. And to my surprise, it even has a clasp with on-the-fly adjustment. Really cool. I also reached out and asked San Maran guys to send me the tropical strap so I can demonstrate how this watch looks with that option too. And I think it actually looks pretty good. Now, as for the price, this one is the priciest of the lot. However, with $40 new release discount, we can have the price reduced down to $258, which, frankly speaking, I think is a great deal for an original design GMT diver from a brand like San Maran. So now I will go and adjust the bracelets to my about 7-inch wrist, spend at least a few days with each of these timepieces, of course test and film the loom performance and roll out the full reviews in the coming days. However, if you want to see more affordable watches reviews, which I've got tons on the channel, I will put the link to my playlist somewhere around here. So stay tuned, don't forget to subscribe and of course like this video if you found it helpful. Thank you for watching, take care, and I will see you in the next video.